Yes, people. Welcome back to another episode of LB and Hugh to talk you through absolutely zero City news. Although there is a couple of rumours out there, so we're going to speak about that. Make sure you guys drop a like on the stream, man. Get these likes up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Shout out to everybody not watching the Baller League, innit? I mean, what is going on with football, man? Football got so woke, bro. Y'all bring me back to old school ballers, man. What we doing here? But yeah, big up to you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to Hugh as well. Link is in the description. First line of the description. Make sure you subscribe. But yeah, big up. What are you saying, bro? Any news?
No. International football, not a lot happening. Went to the Ireland game the other night.
What are Ireland saying? What are Ireland saying in the international football?
I don't know. I don't know. I just go. I get tickets off my job, so I kind of just go. You know what I mean? And have a good time. But Nations League or something, I don't really know, man. But
yeah, you won yesterday against Bulgaria in the Nations League.
Yeah, I think we avoided relegation, Group C, or to.
Wait, how does this work then? Because it says you played Nations League, but we didn't play Nations League. We played World Cup qualifiers. So why are we playing World Cup qualifiers and you're playing Nations League?
Ours was a Nations League playoff, promotion relegation playoff, apparently. So the winner of our tie with Bulgaria got into Group B, and the loser had to stay in Group C. And then,
right.
I'm chatting at my ass, man.
So have you played a World Cup qualifier yet?
No, I don't think so.
You've not played a World Cup qualifier?
No, I don't think so. Someone in the chat will know what's going on, man. To be honest, international football, man. I don't have enough space in my head for it. My hard drive, my memory space in my head doesn't capacitate for that. You know what I mean?
Off, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at it now. Yeah, what's this saying here? So you're in group. Wait, why have you not why are you not even in the group? Oh yeah, you are. Yeah, you've not played anyone in your group yet. So you've got Portugal, Hungary, and Armenia.
Yeah.
But no one's played any games, but in ours, yeah, we've got an extra team as well, which makes no sense. We've got Latvia, Serbia, Andorra, and Albania. Well, we play at Latvia tonight, innit? So yeah, England have already played one and won it. We play Latvia, who won their first game as well. So it's actually a big game for England tonight, guys, against Latvia.
Why do England never play against anyone good ever until they're in an actual tournament?
Because the qualifiers are shit, bro. Like, because the qualifiers, the way the qualifiers, this is why no one fucking cares, right? Because these World Cup qualifiers, right? They're seeded qualifiers. So Germany are in their own group, Spain are in their own group, France are in their own group, Portugal in their own group, England in their own group, Germany, they're all in their own group, which means, like, listen to this, yeah? So France's group, Ukraine, Iceland, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Spain, Turkey, Georgia, Bulgaria, Portugal, Hungary, Ireland, Armenia. Yeah, and then you got fucking England like the same there, because you're like, obviously the way that UEFA do it and the way that FIFA do it, they want all the big countries there, obviously for the money and shit, the sponsors and that. So they all get their own. It's just a pointless exercise. It's a pointless exercise. It's just stupid. Like, they need to find a new way of doing it, and I don't know what that way is. Yeah, but it's just ridiculous. It's just pointless. It's irrelevant. Like, everybody knows England are going to top that group, mate, with Latvia, Serbia, Andorra, and Albania. Like, so what's the point? Everybody knows that, like, fucking France will top their group and Spain will top their group. It's just cut the crap. Yeah, let them go in or whatever. Yeah, and then just let everybody else fight it out. It's stupid, man. It really is stupid. I just don't get it, man. And this is why no one cares about it, mate. This is why no one... Like, I've told you in the past, innit? I'm low-key jealous of Ireland in these situations because, like, you going into these games, like, they're big games, you've got to win. Whereas, like, as an England fan, as a Spanish fan, as a Portugal fan, as a France, you just know that you're going to top the group anyway. Like, not in an arrogant way. You just know, like, if England don't top the group with Latvia, Serbia, Andorra, and Albania, like, what the fuck is going on there? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd rather countries like England and Spain just let them have automatic qualification. Whatever, I don't care enough. Just let them have automatic qualification, and then let these groups, be a lot more level play. Like, because you're just taking up a qualification spot. You know what I mean? It's going to be given to you anyway. It's a formality. So, like, it's hard to give a shit about international football when you're from a country like Ireland, who, we have little to no chance of qualifying for anything major. Like, we may not even qualify for the tournament that we're hosting in 2028.
Nah. You defo got automatic qualification on that.
No. They were talking about this on TV the other night. That's not confirmed yet. We haven't been confirmed automatic qualification.
Nah. They defo will. World Cup, what is it? 20 what?
28.
Is it World Cup that or Euros?
Euros
2028. You're telling me that you've not got automatic qualification? Oh, because everyone's got it. I say everyone. Sorry. England, Republic of Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So what they're saying, all four of them can't have it. Is that what they're saying?
No, I think they're just potentially doing away with the rule whereby if you're the host, you get automatic qualification.
Oh, yeah. It says here, one plan being considered is that all four host teams, England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, may enter qualifying with 2 automatic spots held in reserve for hosts which fail to qualify. Should 2 or more host teams fail to qualify, the spots could be awarded to the best performing hosts. Okay. So, yeah, what they're saying is no one's going to get automatic qualification, but if they're going to let 2 people qualify, 2 countries qualify. So if you imagine England will qualify, because let's just go off the, let's just say England will qualify, yeah? That means if Ireland, Wales, and Scotland don't qualify, 2 of them will be given automatic passes into the tournament and with the 2 best performing teams. Why not just cut the crap and just let them in, man? You know what I mean? What the fucking point in this? Also, yeah, I'm not being funny. How many countries is there in Europe, mate? Yeah, you'll find out.
Yeah.
How many countries in Europe? Like, how hard is it just to let every single European country just be in the tournament? Yeah, 44 countries in Europe. Surely they can do a tournament with 44 countries. Like, that can't be that hard.
That'd be sick as well. That'd be sick.
Just cut the BS, man. Why have a qualification? Just be like, yo, we're going to do it. All 44 teams in Europe are going to be in the tournament. We're not doing no qualification. I'm not being funny. That can't be that hard. That can't be that difficult, mate. How many countries are in the tournament anyway? Like 25? So you're only going to introduce one more round. Yeah, honestly, man, get me in the hot seat, mate. Yeah, honestly, man, I make it so much better. Yeah, football will be improved with me in the hot seat, guys. I promise you, man. Get all the teams in there. Yeah, same with the World Cup. Yeah, 200 countries in the world. Bang, we'll have 200 team World Cup, mate. Let's just do it. Let's make it proper. How many qualifications, man? Do you know what I mean? What are we doing here? Honestly. Anyway,
international football has needed shaking up for a long time, and they tried to do it with that Nations League. Didn't they? It's only been around 5 or 6 years, but that's not brought any heat, has it? It's not brought any fun to it. Like when you're so used to as most, I'd imagine most international football fans also follow a club, and they follow that club far more consistently than they follow the international team. You know, because the international football team isn't around as often. When you go from following a club, whether it's home and away, you travel, or whether you watch them on TV every week and you're very emotionally invested, to then move into the international scene and your country's playing against someone else who's not great, like Ireland, and the standard's poor, there's not much actually weighing on the game. It's really hard to want to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was the atmosphere in that game last night. It was last night. Yeah, it was last night. The Ireland-Bulgaria game. I was at it. It was like, it's just a friendly, man. It's a glorified friendly, even though there actually is, supposedly something hinging on it. So I don't know, man. Like, it's tough. It's tough to give a shit. Really, it really is.
No, it is. Guys, smash these likes up, man. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Just a quick one on the 115. Apparently, Asan, if you believe Asan, who does the 9320 podcast, he's not actually active on social media. That guy's locked it off. He's done the right thing and it just fucking not be on social media. You know what I mean? Fair play with him. I don't want to misquote him, so let me actually read the actual post. But he said, what did he say?
He shouldn't say anything, man. I learned the hard way. You say anything, you hear the odd thing, and all of a sudden, your DMs, your comments, everything flooded, man.
Yeah, so obviously you said that you got told that that it's good news or whatever. Or what did you say? It's positive news.
I according to what I've heard, I'm expecting positive news, but what I've heard means nothing at this day and age. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's facts. Asan's saying that he's been told that the club still haven't been told an outcome. So there you go. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know what's going on with the 115 thing. I mean, it's mad how it's taking this long. Well, it's not really that mad because obviously it's well complex, but at the same time, it's just like, fucking hell, we just get over and done. We'll just get it sorted, man. Like, what we're doing here. Like, why we're still not found out, mate. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm a bit like, this 115 thing, man. It's like, fucking, I just want it done, man. I want it done. I want us to get not guilty. I want to do my stream. I want to laugh at people and, be buzzing and that, and then move it on and never speak about it again. Yeah, but it's like just dragging on and on and on and on. And I get it. I know it's complex and shit. Yeah, I know the guys who are doing the three judges, the three people making the decision. I know there's a lot to go through. I know they've got to, read their defense, read the allegations, and check the evidence, and blah 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 blah, and all this kind of stuff. I get it. I do get it. Yeah, but I'm just like, oh, it's so boring. Do you know what I mean? I felt like the first year or something, it was actually pretty interesting. You know what I mean? I did loads of streams on it. It was pretty interesting. People was giving their opinions and that, but there's only so many times you can talk about it. And you know what does my head in, Hugh, with this 115 thing as well, right? Is how the media put these articles out here and go, breaking news. Yeah. Man City could be expelled from the league. It's like, we got told that basically the day the fucking charges landed that we could be expelled from the league. Yeah. So what are you talking about, mate? Yeah. What are you talking about? Breaking news. What are you talking about? Exclusive. Man City's titles could be stripped. What? How's that an exclusive? We got told that on the day the charges landed. What are you talking about? Like, these are like, what's going on here, man? Do you know what I mean? These guys are desperate for it. So I'm just done with it, man. I'm done. I'm so over it. I'm so done with it, yeah? I want to get not guilty because the club told me they got irrefutable evidence, yeah? And then boom, I want to move it on. Yeah, get fuck off. Look at this twat. Look at his super chat. 115. Why couldn't you donate me 115 jods? Do you know what I mean? Was it 1.15? Come on, man. You got a big channel, bro. I know you got the cash in it. Yo, donate the 115 jods, bro. Yo, look at this guy, chat. Try to be funny, but only donated 1.150 jod. This guy, man. This guy's a joker. Get me the 115 jods and I'll laugh in it. You know what I mean?
You see him, yeah? You see him, Sam, yeah? I had to do, the day it broke, the day the news broke for the first time, I was the most hungover I've ever been in my whole entire life. I was at Spurs away the day before. I land back in Dublin. The news breaks. City are fucked. The world is burning down. And I had to do a show with him that night. I had to do that show Matisse used to do, Battle of the North, because Daps all of a sudden wasn't feeling well and he wasn't able to do it. So I had to fucking step in. And Hassam, exactly. Yeah, he's in the chat now. Hassam all of a sudden became fucking Sherlock Holmes and knew everything about about legalities. And I was sitting there feeling awful. And I did the Big Six straight after. It's over 2 years ago this month. Over 2 years ago. You know, we're looking at 25 months ago. It was February 2023. So that's crazy. Like, so much has happened since then that I'm okay with whatever outcome at this point. I really am. I'm at peace with whatever outcome. If they relegate us, I'm okay with that. If they say we've destroyed the Premier League, I'm okay with that. I just want it over because I'm so bored of looking at YouTube videos or streams or being a part of shows or anything. And you try to talk positive about City and all you get hit with is, well, when you get hit by the charges and you're cheating and with the charges, if we're cheaters, just tell us we're cheaters. I want to be certain that we're cheaters. But if we're not, I also want to know that we're not cheaters, so I can tell all the knobheads who called us cheaters that they're fucking wrong. I'm just sick of no, big up Hassan, man. He's a funny guy. He knows what he's doing. And to be fair, like, hand on heart, if the shoe was on the other foot, you would be the exact same. You would be the exact same, wouldn't you? Like if this was
I think I probably would. Yeah, I don't know how. I'd like to sit here and be like, no, I wouldn't. But like, I don't know what I'd say. I don't know. It's difficult to say what I'd say. You know, I imagine that. Yeah, I probably would to a certain degree. I don't think I'd go in as hard as some other people have. But like, I probably would do it, even if it's just for the banter. But yeah, it's just like it is what it is, man. And it's like, you know what I find funny. You know what I find funny is the Arsenal fans that try and get involved in this. It's like, yo, the charges ended in 2019. You were not relevant in 2019. Like, I kind of get like the Liverpool fans, like who lost out on like what 2 or 3 titles to us with a couple of points, and it's like, yo, if you guys didn't do what you did, then we should have technically won that league or whatever. Blah blah blah. That's the argument. Yeah, but like Arsenal fans try to get involved. It's like, bro. We've only been involved with you for the last 2 years. These charges ended in 2019. What are you talking about, man? It's got nothing to do with you. I'm like, yo, you get out. Why are you getting yourselves involved? It's like that meme. It's like, get involved and what is it? Get in there and make it about you. It's like, you ain't that guy, bro. You ain't that guy. Like, Liverpool fans, I kind of get it to a certain degree. I think even United, because we won the league, we beat them to second place, innit, with Ollie. And even was it Mourinho there? Did we have a Pep v Mourinho? Did we ever have that?
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah, we did. That fucking Pogba comeback.
Pogba 3-2. 3-2.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that game? Fucking
I was at it.
That's one game that lives rent-free in my head, that game. That fucking 2-0 up at half time. And then they went and fucking bottled it in the second half. Yeah, I tell you what, chat, yeah, that's one of those games that I fucking never forgive some of these players for, man, because that was a bottle job, mate. And we could have won the league against them that game.
Yeah.
We won against them that game. We would have won the league. We were 2-0 up and bottled it, man. You know what I mean?
I know.
That lives rent-free in my head. I
was there, bro. I was
yeah.
Remember Pogba had the blue highlights in his hair as well.
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. But no, like you're right though. The Arsenal fans, I like who invited you? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, who invited you to this conversation?
Who invited you? Let's be real. Like the only people that should be really disappointed about this are the Liverpool team that went up against Pellegrini, the United team that went up against Mancini, and then the couple of Liverpool teams, Klopp's teams that went up against Pep. Other than that, like, yeah, and that's even if it's worst case scenario. That's even if we are in trouble and we have done things dodgy. If it comes out that we've done nothing dodgy and we're on the clear, then shove that. You know what I mean? We've done nothing wrong. Everything's legitimate. But we'll have to see. Like, I just want it over, bro. I just want it over. I'm bored of it. Like I said, we would do the same thing if the shoe was on the other foot, but I mean that in a sense of I don't mind the banter. I don't mind that in the office or on streams or just having a laugh about it. But when you're actually trying to talk football with someone or talk like, serious football talk, and then someone has to bring in the charges, you're like, bro, like, why are you killing the conversation? It just kills the conversation. Like I've seen it on the overlap a couple of times. I've seen that Adam McCullough do it to MCFC lads once or twice. I've seen all sorts of people do it all the time. And it's just like, I think it's in admitting defeat in a debate. If you're talking football, you're talking success, you're talking history and whatever numbers, and your answer is to go, yeah, but when the charges hit, that'll change. Like, well, you're being paid to say this. We could all say that at some point. We all say, what happens if you get found guilty of something in 3 years' time or 5 years' time because your billionaire owners did something wrong? It's boring, man. It's so boring, and it kills the fun for me in a lot of the conversation. So when it comes to an end, we'll be there. We'll be there either way. We'll have a party.
And when we're done, we'll have a conversation. I'll give you my very blunt views. I promise you that. I have very strong views on that, but I am going to be, unfortunately, very restrained today.
Pretty mad if he said that if we're guilty in it. I'll just put it out there. It's like, bro, this is why I'm kind of like,
I've said this a million times, and I'm going to say it one last time. That guy in that clip, Don Caldoun, the Dune, he has such a massive reputation in world politics.
Did you see him the other day with Donald Trump, bro?
He just sat with Trump and them, man, the other day.
He's fucking chilling with Donald Trump, bro, doing some business deal, yeah? Where the UAE, yeah, have just invested, like, what is it? $1.5 trillion or some shit like that. I don't know what the actual fee is. Someone in the chat who does politics and that will know, yeah? I just seen it on Twitter.
Change.
Yeah, bro, this guy's out here, yeah, negotiating like chat, how much money is it? Is that 1.5 billion or 1.5 trillion? Probably 1 billion, isn't it? It's probably a billion, not a trillion, yeah. But anyway, the guys just negotiated a deal, yeah, not just him, obviously other people, yeah. The guys just negotiated a deal with Trump, yeah, to invest $1.5 billion into America, yeah, over like the next 10 years and shit. Like, this guy's a big dog, man. Like, every time I'm watching F1 in Abu Dhabi, the guy's doing all these deals and all this kind of shit, mate. And like, bro, how are you gonna? Apparently, it's 1.4 trillion. Apparently, it's 1.4 trillion. And I'm not being funny yet, but like, let's just say, for example, we are guilty, right? And Caldoun knows we're guilty, right? Let's just say and we will move the conversation on because I know it's fucking boring. But let me just end it on this, yeah, and then we'll move it on chat. I know you guys don't like this talking as well. Well, some of you does, some of you love it, some of you don't like it. Anyway, quit waffling, Bray. Yeah, like just for example, right? Let's just say, for example, we know we're guilty, and Caldoun knows we're guilty. Would you sit there and say stuff like that? You might sit there and say, no, we're not guilty in it, because you've got to say that. Well, providing that's what you're going to go down the not guilty like route. You're not going to sit there though, innit, with your chest out and go, yo, you wait until this is over, man. I'm going to start cooking these guys if you're guilty. Why would you do that? Well, I don't get why you do that. Like, you might sit there in it, Hugh, and go, "Now, we're not guilty. That's our defense." You just say, "We're not guilty. That's our defense. I can't say anything because illegal." That's what you'd say, wouldn't you? You just say, "I can't say nothing illegal to legal situation. Not allowed to say anything. Solicitor just told me I can't say anything, but we're not guilty. That's what we're doing." You wouldn't sit there and with your chest out and go, "You wait until this is finished, mate. I'm going to start cooking these guys." That's what he's just said. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Because I can tell you now, yeah, if we get found guilty and people read the document and it's like, it's not one of these, "Oh, they said we were guilty, but we probably weren't guilty." Like, say we get found guilty and like we read the document and it's like, "Oh shit, yeah, we are like legit guilty." Like, they had a whistleblower, the guy was told everything. Like, yeah, City done it. Like 100%. Everyone's gonna pull that clip up on Twitter and that, and other YouTubers will pull it up and that, and I'll go, "Yo, check this fucking guy said this. He said he was gonna start cooking people and he was guilty all along." Why would you say that? You wouldn't say that. I don't get why you'd say that. And I also think I say the same shit all the time. I was like, if you're about to commit mass fraud, yeah, would you really do it on your work email? I always like, listen, do I think City might have done it? And like, did they have reason to do it? Yes, they had reason to do it because they needed to get money into the football club, yeah, to buy the players and pay the wages and grow the club, yeah, which they needed to do because the fucking rules are shit, right? So I get why they might have thought about doing it, but when they sat there in the meeting and went, "Right, we're about to commit mass fraud on a scale never seen before. I tell you what we're going to do, lads. We're going to use our work emails." You wouldn't fucking do that, would you? You wouldn't. You just say to Karl to say, "Right, because we're committing fraud, a crime, you just fucking sort the shit out." You know what I mean? On a separate email, yeah, or ring someone on a burner phone or whatever. And sort it out. You're not going to sit there on your fucking work email and be like, "Can you send me 10 million pound and pretend it's from pretend it's from Etihad, but it's actually from." You're not going to. I just don't get why you do that unless you're so arrogant. Unless they were just arrogant and they never thought they'd get caught, or maybe they didn't think it's a crime, but it's highly unlikely given the fact that the guy fucking knows what he's doing. I just think like they were either mad arrogant. Then they thought they'd never get caught. So that's why they're just fucking using their work emails. They didn't know it was a crime, which is an option. It's an option. Unlikely that they didn't know it was a crime, given the fact this is a guy that's, working on multi-billion-pound deals, trillion-pound deals. He probably knows that that's fraud, yeah? Or they didn't do it. That can be the only three options. Or they didn't do it. And I just don't get it, bro. I cannot believe they would send the fucking emails from their work's email if they were going to commit fraud, unless they just never thought they were going to get hacked, unless they were, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know, bro. It's one of those ones that we don't know the ins and outs of it. But as I say, I don't think he'd risk his reputation, his job, his position in world politics and economics, by making comments like that. As I say, I think if he was forecasting some guilt and it going tits up, you go down the no comment route, don't you? You go, no comment. We'll see when it's over. Yeah. You don't say we have irrefutable evidence. You don't say we're gonna fucking stir shit up when it all comes out. Like, you don't come out with your chest like that. So I think this isn't just some like street criminal who isn't educated and doesn't know what he's doing in the world, and he's just trying to make money as quick as possible. This is a man who knows the ins and outs of everything he needs to know the ins and outs of. So I don't think he slips up like that, and I don't think he risks his reputation. That's what I mean. Like, if this really goes tits up, he doesn't work for Manchester City anymore. That's the reality. He has to go if this really goes balls to the wall wrong. I think Khaldoon has to go, and I think he knows that as well. I think he would have known that if he was potentially making these wrong moves. So there's a lot riding on it. There's a huge amount riding on it, and we can look at it whatever way we want. As I say, I believe there's going to be a positive outcome, but we don't know, bro. We just don't know. We all thought it was going to be last week. We all thought it was going to be a few days ago. We all thought it was going to be this international break. It's not going to be this international break by the looks of it. I do believe a decision has been made, though. I absolutely do.
Okay. Guys, smash these likes up, man. Smash these likes up. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. We are going to move it on from 115, so if you've just joined and you want to listen to that, rewind. Big up to MTFC, bro. Big up to you, mate. It says, how's it going, Braze? Had a bit of links today. Savic from Torino, 6'8" goalkeeper. Bloody hell. Wirtz again from Play and Dibbling. Yeah, I've seen that Dibbling link as well. Sky Sports said we're looking at Bramthwaite. Yeah, so the couple of things to talk about here. Let me come back to the that super chat in a minute because we are going to speak about transfers in a sec, bro. Big up to Professional Idiot. It says Bernardo and Gundo need to go. Pep has a strange love triangle with them. Yeah, I'd let them both go if it was me. If it was me, I'd let them both go. He also says, since I'm a plastic American bandwagon glory hunting fan, if we get relegated, I'm switching to Newcastle or Chelsea. I'd go Chelsea if I was you, bro. Well, not Chelsea, sorry, Newcastle.
Yeah,
I go Newcastle. Yeah. I go Newcastle if I was you. 100%. Or Real Madrid. You know what I mean? Real Madrid.
Yeah, well, there's the obvious one, Real Madrid, yeah.
And big up to Steve as well, says, I'm more confident about 1-1-5 outcome than finishing the Champions League. Well, yeah. Nah, facts, bro. That injury. Have you seen that injury to Gavadio?
No, I saw you tweeting about it though.
Yeah, so I don't know what the full driller is, but apparently Gavadio's injured.
Is he cooked? Is he cooked, chat?
Well, I don't know if he's cooked, but yeah, apparently the manager confirmed he is injured. And people are saying, yeah, it didn't look like he would be playing at the weekend against Bournemouth, which is a bit of an L. So we just have to wait and see. I don't really know. No one's reported on it. I don't get it. Like there's one woman on Twitter that's just like a Gavadio stan, and she just reports everything about him. And she's the only person on Twitter that's mentioned it. But yeah, a couple of people have said like, yeah, it's true. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there. To be honest with you, but yeah, this Champions League is looking not great now because our defense, bro, going into Brighton now would probably be, well, either Nico O'Reilly left back or Rico Lewis left back, Diaz, Kuzanov, and Nunes. That's our defense, bro, for our biggest game of the season. Can you believe that? It's mad, isn't it? Fucking mad.
That's so ugly, bro. That's so stinking. You know that.
Akanji, Ake, and Stones are all out with long-term injuries.
I know, bro. It's horrendous, but I don't care anymore, man. Like, with regards to this season, yeah, if you get Champions League, great. I'm low key, very quietly, I'm okay with Europa League. I'm sound with Europa League, man. I'm dying to go to some new places. I've been to Bernabeu bare times. I've been to Dortmund. Been all around Europe bare times. Send me like Estonia or somewhere. Send me to Croatia or something fun. Do you know what I mean? Something different. So I'm all right with that. But look. It's it's not looking good. I mean, it's looking like you say Rico Lewis and Mateus Nunes maybe as fullbacks. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. It was the Guardiola one though. For me, was inevitable. The geezers played way too much football.
It was inevitable, bro.
It was the most inevitable injury of the season. It was coming. It was always like if there was odds on it, I'd have put money on it because he's played so much since the first day of the season. It was always going to happen, but it is what it is, I guess, man. Just have to wait and see. Like, I mean, the Bournemouth game is this weekend, isn't it? This is actually huge.
Sunday.
The Bournemouth game, you know.
I think it's the biggest game of the season.
It is now by default. Yeah, process of elimination. It's the biggest game of the season. So
yeah,
you know how we shape up. I don't know. I mean, Haaland's playing for Norway tonight. I think is it tonight or tomorrow? Like, you just pray to God that he gets through that. All right. Foden's on the bench for England. We'll just have to get through that. We'll have to see, but. Bro, it's so hard. You just don't know what city's going to turn up because I was just looking through the season there, the results. Like there've been some games where I remember looking at them in isolation, going, maybe we've turned the corner here. We're actually playing quite well today, or things look a lot better. And you're going, okay, maybe we can kick on from this. And you win the game, and then the next week you go out and you drop a stinker. You just don't know what City you're going to get. You don't know what the 2-week break is going to have done to City. You don't know what injuries we're going to come back with. You don't know what fitness levels, what mental state, as we're learning about some of the players, are in right now. It's such a not even a roller coaster, such a rocky season, and I don't think we as fans probably appreciate how much intensity the players and manager have had to deal with this season. You know, with everything going wrong, mistakes made at boardroom level, transfer level, injuries early in the season to Rodri and other players. You know, there's certain players haven't been fit all season. Stones, Ake, Ruben Diaz properly. Rodri obviously been out all season. Oscar Bob leg break. All these things have just stacked up and stacked up and stacked up, and you can only push against that stacking up for so long. It was always going to collapse at some point, and it's happened. it's happened, yeah. But all you can talk about is now how do you get back to that level, and we'll talk about transfers and that kind of thing. But I think it's a much longer term fix than just one summer of transfers. But that's a long conversation.
Yeah. Well, let's speak about transfers then, innit? Because this is basically how you're going to fix it and get back to winning stuff next year. Yeah. So Plettenberg, this is an interesting one. So Florian Plettenberg, again, he's a bit of a weird source, isn't it, Plettenberg? So, well, to be fair, I think this is probably legit. If I'm being honest with you, I think this is probably legit. I don't think he's not saying anything like crazy here. But he's saying that Leverkusen have everything prepared for a Florian Wirtz contract, signing until at least 2028, and it would include a release clause next summer. So not this summer coming, the summer after, obviously next year. Leverkusen expected a decision from Wirtz soon. Bayern City want him this summer. And obviously, we've heard about Real Madrid and that, but apparently Real Madrid can't get him this year. I don't want him this year. They want to wait next year. If open to negotiations take place after the season, Bayern are considering demand of 120 to 30 million fixed plus bonuses for Wirtz. Now, this is a weird one for me because this stuff with Wirtz is, we've heard a lot of stuff with Wirtz, Manchester City. We've heard that maybe he doesn't want to leave Germany. He wants to stay in Germany. Maybe he doesn't want to come to England. He maybe don't want to come to City. Maybe he actually prefers Liverpool to City. We've heard all sorts of stuff when it comes to Florian Wirtz. Now, he's still not signed his contract. Hugh don't want to speak about it. I'm sure he's just locked off. He'll be back in a sec. I'm sure that Wirtz, for me, I don't know what you think, Chad, but I think Wirtz is just taking his time. I think because he knows that he's got the contract he's got the contract offer from Leverkusen. He knows that's there. I think Wirtz now is probably, him and his agent are probably speaking to a couple of clubs, City, maybe Bayern, maybe Madrid, maybe Liverpool, right? And he's probably just weighing it up. He knows this is a big move. He's slamming it right now. He's one of the best players in Europe. Brilliant numbers. The guy's tearing it up. Fantastic. But he knows this move is a big, big move. This move will elevate him to one of the best players in the world. Yeah, on the big world stage. Yeah, in the Premier League or for Real Madrid or whatever. Or he could become a bit of a system player. Maybe he'll flop, whatever. So he's got to get this deal right. I imagine that he's probably just waiting. He's probably thinking about it, and he's going to take his time on it. Yeah. The thing is, we can't wait, Itchy. We can't wait for Wirtz. We can't wait for Wirtz next year. We need a player, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys agree with me on this one. We need a creative player this summer. Yeah, I mean, we have to get one this summer for me. And if it's not Wirtz, you got to go and get the next guy. You got to go and get the next guy if it's not Wirtz. But we've just got to wait it out, I think. We've just got to wait, keep on trying our best to persuade him, to persuade Wirtz, do everything that we can to persuade him and then see what he does. And, at the end of the day, if he accepts mint, if he doesn't, we got to move on to the next one. We know that Xavi Simons has probably got a release clause in his contract because, he's only there till 2028 and so he needs an out. But I don't know, man. What are you saying when it comes to Wirtz? Because this is what he's saying. He's saying the contract is there, ready to sign, but obviously Wirtz hasn't signed it yet. So he must be thinking about his future elsewhere. He's clearly not quite ready to extend the contract and commit to Leverkusen. Otherwise, he would have done it already, like Musiala did. Do you think that he's just taking his time and he just wants to make sure he gets this move right, or what do you assess when it comes to Wirtz, bro?
First of all, I don't think this news means anything. True, if it's 100% true, I don't think it means anything. I think this was for the whole Florian Wirtz saga, whatever way it ends up, this was the most inevitable of all the news, that Leverkusen have to cover their arse, have to provide some sort of a contract, and have to be seen to be trying to, get the best outcome for themselves when that may be, whether he moves this summer or whether he moves on in 2026 or what. They need to get themselves the best deal. PSG tried to do it with Mbappe, and that's just football politics. It's football business. So I don't think it means a toss. I think it all comes down to what Wirtz himself wants. I think it totally comes down to that. I think this saga is going to be elongated. I don't think it'll be like the Haaland one where you just get a news flash in a couple of weeks' time and there's a deal agreed in principle. I think this guy's going to really think about what he wants. I mean, if he wants to stay in Germany, Is he going to go to Bayern? I don't know. That's obviously a different conversation. Is he going to stay at Leverkusen? He could. But how badly are City pushing? You know, how hard are City pushing to get him? I just don't know. We don't know enough.
I think City are pushing very, very hard because I think City know that we need a player like that in the team, and there's not many players like that out there. You know, you're looking at Musiala, Wirtz, Simmons. Maybe you could throw this Cherky Donny in there because he seems to be, you know, doing really well at the moment. And then that's really kind of it, isn't it? There's not really anyone else out there. Palmer, you're going to get Palmer out of Chelsea now, let's be honest.
Echeverry.
Well, you got Echeverry, but Echeverry's like, you know, I back him and that, and I think the guy's going to be a baller and stuff. But like, it is a bit of going into the casino and putting all your money on one number on roulette. Like, you could come in clutch and you could be, but you know, Echeverry could turn up and he could be crap. Let's be honest, like, bro, he could be. Do you know what I mean? I don't think so. I think the guy's going to be a baller. But like, you know, these South American players, you know, they are a bit risky sometimes to come over in the mint. Alvarez, Jesus was good. Sometimes they come over and they're just not at the level. So, you know, I think City know that they have to go and get someone. Yeah, we're looking at Baena, but then again, what level is he at? So I think City are doing everything possible to get Wirtz. I think my honest opinion is this. Yeah, if I'm reading, and again, this is just reading the news. Yeah, this ain't LBITK situation. I think Wirtz probably wants to stay in Germany, and I think he wants to go Bayern. I think that's his preference. If I'm being honest with you, chat, yeah, that's what I believe is true based off what I'm reading. Yeah, it might could be complete BS, yeah, but this is my opinion. I think he wants to stay at Bayern, go Bayern, yeah, but I think Leverkusen are like, we don't want to sell you to Bayern because they're our rival. If you go Bayern, we're literally strengthening our rival. Like, I think Leverkusen probably want to become a team that is constantly challenging and selling your best player to Bayern and making them. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. I think the problem that Bayern Leverkusen have got is if that's what he wants, and he's like, well, I'm just going to wait and go on a free then eventually they're going to have to sell him. But if City are there. Maybe they'll outprice Bayern. Maybe they're going to say to Bayern, I think he's still got 2 or 3 years after his deal. Maybe they'll say to Bayern, you can have him, but it's going to be 150 million euros. They're not going to pay that. And maybe if they say, well, you can go Bayern next year or the year after, but not this year. But City are there now willing to do the deal. And Bayer Leverkusen are saying, you can go work with Pep. You can go City. We'll sell you to City, but just not Bayern. Maybe he'll do it. I don't know, man. It's tricky, isn't it? Because we get hearing all these rumors about him. They might not even be true. This is the problem. You're going after rumors. Like, you don't really know what to believe. It's hard, isn't it, for fans? Because we're out the loop and we're being told things and we don't know if they're true or not. We don't know if they're true. What I would say is, Dazu, I know, personally, he knows his shit. He told me, yeah, that this was like maybe 6 months ago that, yeah, Wirtz don't really want City. And like, City are not high on his list and that, yeah. But then he actually tweeted like last week or 2 weeks ago to say, I'm hearing positive things when it comes to Wirtz. So maybe City have been a bit successful there in, maybe we have managed to convince him a little bit, or at least get him to talk and say, right, talk to me. What's your plan? What's your plan for me?
Or Bayer Leverkusen have convinced him, because Bayer Leverkusen, as you say, are obviously really naturally, I could surely it can't be that hard to assume, or it shouldn't be that wrong to assume that they're desperate not to sell to Bayern Munich, But I was always under the impression that he wanted to stay in Germany, and I was always under the impression he wanted to stay or go to Bayern Munich. Like, history shows that all top German footballers want to play for Bayern Munich. That's their goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bayern Munich is the club variation of German national football. You know what I'm saying? That's their team, and they all want to play there. That's why Sané pushed so hard to go there. That's why Kimmich stayed there so long, and Lahm and Schweinsteiger, all these players played for Bayern Munich, and way before that as well. So I kind of just assumed that. I think it hinges on Bayer Leverkusen a lot. And what they say to Florian Wirtz, how they pitch it to him, and what they say to him, because obviously they're trying to get him to sign a new deal. But if they're going to succumb to losing him, they're going to want to sell him to City. If City are the only other team in,
of course they are, 100%.
They're going to say to him, "Look, mate, we really don't want to sell you to Bayern Munich." And
did Wirtz come through their academy, or did they buy in?
I don't know, but they're going to say to him, look, it's not as if City's a bad fucking option. Do you know what I'm saying? That they're doing a rebuild here, and they want you to be at the heart of this rebuild. And it's not as if they don't have good players already. Like, Rodri's coming back, Haaland's there. Like, you're going into an already fucking good team that's going to get even stronger. So
Yeah, he's been there
Leverkusen.
since he was 10 years old, Wirtz.
He like there has to be from Florian Wirtz. I don't know the guy personally, obviously, but there has to be an element, surely, of respect for the club that has made you what you are.
I know. Like, it's like, yeah, I get it, man, because obviously Sane went through this, and I think that if you're obviously in England, it might be a bit different in England because like you've got fucking City now, you've got fucking Newcastle, massive, you got Villa who are fucking cooking, you got Liverpool, Arsenal, United. There are so many fucking huge teams in this country that like. I just think that like you've got bare options. If you're an English player, you want to play in the Premier, you've got pure options. You've got massive fucking clubs, massive clubs everywhere, right? And in Germany, I know the clubs are big, but like obviously Bayern are their team and they win the league every year. They're the ones that win the Champions League. Like if you're slightly below that, then maybe you might want to play for Dortmund or even Leverkusen. But like it seems to me, and I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't know if there's any Germans in the chat, but it seems to me like if you're German and you want to play for Bayern. Sane went through it. You know, they pitched it to Sane. Oh, come to Bayern. You'll be the poster boy. Turned out he wasn't the poster boy because Musiala came through real quick. So that was a bit of an L. I think he probably regrets the move, to be honest with you. You know, and I think obviously you're hearing it with Wirtz. Apparently Wirtz wants to play for Bayern. I think for the impression that I get is that German players really want to play for Bayern. Well, you don't really get that in England because, like, you know, there's so many fucking sick teams in England. Like, so many big clubs, massive clubs who are all good. Like, no one really dominates. No City have dominated, but like, that's only because we've got Pep. When Pep leaves, we won't be dominating like we have now. So I don't know, man. I think Leverkusen just have to play the guilt card in it and just be like, yo, we put all this money and time into you. 10, 12 years, we've coached you. We've guided you through it. Yeah, we've made you the top player that you are. We've won the league together. City want you. Real Madrid want you. And you're gonna shag us and go to Bayern. That's a bit of an L, man.
What age is he now? What age is he? 21? 21.
He's only 21. Can you believe that?
Oh, you say to the guy, fuck's sake, man. If you really want to go to Bayern, you can go there in 5-6 years when you're in your prime. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't stop trying to rush it, man. Slow the hell down. Why are you trying to shag us and go at 21 from us to our biggest rivals right now for the Bundesliga? And, you know, like, go to City. And if they want to sell you in 3, 4, 5 years, let them do it to Bayern. And it's not as if like you're being forced to go to fucking Azkaban.
Yeah, let me ask you this question,
Pep Guardiola's Manchester City.
Yeah, let me ask you this, man, because this is I get asked this all the time, and people put this in the chat all the time. So it's a fair point, and I'm interested to hear your take on it in chat. Let me know what you think on this comment from Metal Tin. Big up, bro. He says that's why I think we should look elsewhere. If his heart is somewhere else and he doesn't want to leave Germany, he could be unsettled quickly. Not what you want for a record signing. And I see this point a lot. Poolpy's mentioned this a lot. Who comes on my channel? He's mentioned like, yo, do we really want to be signing a player that we're having to convince? But then my rebuttal to that is, I think all the top players. I think you've got to convince all the top players. I think Haaland, we probably had to convince. There was a battle between us and Real Madrid for Haaland. I think we probably had to convince Haaland. I don't think we just rang Haaland and be like, oh, do you want to join City, mate? He went, yeah. I think he probably said, well, I've got Real Madrid. Come to me with your proposal. City probably have to go there with a presentation and that, and you know, do it. I think obviously we did it with Bellingham. We lost out on Bellingham. He chose Real Madrid. So I hear it, and I think at a base level, yeah, it sounds legit. But I think that when you go in for the big players and the world class talent, I think you have to convince them. Yeah, we probably had to convince Aguero. We had to convince David Silva. We had to convince Yaya Toure. We had to convince Haaland. I think that this opinion is like, it's a fair comment, but I think that when you're going for those top players, I think you have to convince them because they've got options. He's got Bayern. He's got Real Madrid. He's got Liverpool. You know, as much as I love the club and like I think City's the best club in the world, whatever. Yeah, he's got no connection to this club. So he's put when Khaldun or Tiki or Viana rings him and says, "We want you," he's going, well, so do Liverpool. Who've got 6 Champions Leagues. So do Real Madrid, who've got 15 Champions Leagues. So do Barca. You know, so do Bayern. So I'm interested, but you got to convince me why I should join. And I know we don't want to hear that. We want to hear that we ring the player and the player's like, yeah, I want you. I just don't think that's the case, man. When you're going for these top elite level players. And I think it's a good sign because it shows that we try to sign players that the top players want. Yeah, when we signed Kovacic, yeah, no one else wanted that guy. When we signed Nunes, no one else wanted that guy. That's just the truth of the facts. Yeah, that's the easy deals to do. We're trying to do deals now where we're signing players that Real Madrid want. We're trying to sign players that Bayern want, that Liverpool want. I think that's a good sign.
I don't think it's black and white, to be honest. I fully agree with the premise that if the player is not hell bent on coming and you're not his first choice, don't chase after him. I get that from a pride stand of view, and I also fully get the point of, unfortunately, in this world, you do have to put an element of effort into trying to sign the top players, the creme de la creme players. But I think I stand with it though more on the side of don't beg. I don't think you need to beg. I think if he says, "Nah, look, my decision is I want to go Bayern," and he goes, "I want Bayern," and then Leverkusen go, "You're not going Bayern, you can go to City," and he goes, "All right, fine, I'll go to City." There's a part of me doesn't sit fully right with me that you're kind of like his literal second choice. But if it's a case of, look, there's two projects here, they're both being pitched to you, you kind of like both and you're unsure, and you eventually go with City, that's fully okay with me. But I don't believe in like, oh, please, mate, come and sign for us. And
I think what you do is you put your best proposal forward. You get your proposal, your best finance. You don't fuck around negotiating 10, 15 grand. You speak to your finance people. You say, right, we're trying to sign one of the best up-and-coming players, and actually not just up-and-coming, he's fucking one of the best players in the world already, let's be honest. We're trying to sign one of the best players in the world. What's the financial? Don't fuck me around. Yeah, I don't want to be coming back asking if I can do an extra 50 grand. Give me your best possible financial package for this guy. Yeah, you go to Pep and you say, right, Pep, yeah, you need to tell me like how this, because he's going to ask the questions. Apparently, Haaland did. Haaland asked Pep how he was going to be used. Yeah, you're gonna ask Pep like, how is this guy going to be played? Maybe Pep gets involved. Blah blah blah. You go to Wirtz and you say, right, this is the financial package that we're going to offer you. This is the best package we're going to offer you. So if we're not paying you enough, don't come back to me because this is the best we've got. And this is obviously, I know it's not done exactly like this, but Pep says this is how you're going to be played. And then you say, any problems, any questions? You give us a call, mate. Yeah, we're happy to answer your questions. Yeah, you want to know what day you're getting paid on? We'll tell you. Yeah, bonuses, we'll tell you. You want to know how Pep's going to play a little bit more? No problem, ring Pep, he'll tell you, yeah? But this is fundamentally our best offer. If you want it, we're here for you. And then we move. And if he says, yeah, if he says no, he says no. You fucking tried your best. I always say, chat, innit? I always say this. For me, always about intent, man. It's always about intent. And you got to beat it. You got to have the intent. Give him the best offer. If he says no, fucking hell, what can I give you? You can't kidnap the guy. You can't make him sign. And then you got to go for the best. And they'll say, well, this will move the conversation on to now, yeah? If Wirtz says no, then what do you do? Well, you go for the best possible option next. So then who is that? Is it Cherky? Is it Xavi Simons? Is it Baena? Now, I don't really know which the best player out of them three is because I've not seen them enough. I've seen Baena a couple of times. Kind of like seeing what I'm seeing, but again, it's very early days. I've hardly seen Simons and Cherky. I don't even think I've ever seen him at all. So I don't know who I'd go for there. I'll leave that to the club and just be like, yo, to be honest with you, I'm kind of a bitchy goal, not necessarily on the players. I might just sign both, two players. I might just sign two because Baena's 50 mil and Cherky's 30 mil, 40 mil. So maybe just get both and then just like, yo, we got two of them. Like, surely one of them's going to fucking work, you know? But if Wirtz says no, you got to move on to the next. What can you do?
You just don't put all your eggs in the Wirtz basket, do you? Like I'd be pretty damn disappointed if Wirtz was the only player they were looking at and was the only player they're putting any effort into. I'd like to think that they're putting out the feelers with multiple players right now, and don't leave themselves stung. I don't want another situation, and I really don't want another situation whereby it's another Gundogan type signing late in the window just for the sake of getting a player in that position. You know, you have to really prepare for multiple outcomes. And I think you have to be prepared to accept quickly if Wirtz says no and not get hung up on it, you know, like the way they moved on from Declan Rice very quickly. Move on from that. He says no, he wanted Arsenal, gone, fine. He's not coming City. What's next? You have to be prepared for that. And we as a fan base have to be prepared for the possibility that Wirtz does not want to come to Manchester City. And personally, my feeling is that he doesn't want to come. There you go. Bellingham, exactly, Iptras. Bellingham didn't want to come to Manchester City. He wanted Real Madrid all along. Sound. Off you go. Enjoy Real Madrid. Who's next for us? What's next for Manchester City? The world doesn't stop if you don't sign Florian Wirtz. The world, you know, the big wheel has to keep turning. And this is what the boys in the boardroom are paid big fucking money for, to make sure that if we don't get our first choice, you get the second one. And the second one is just as, if not close to being as good as the first choice. There's lads paid serious fucking money for this stuff. So make sure it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like the Wirtz thing, I'm okay with not getting him. I know a lot of people want him because he's the sexy name in football right now. I'm okay with not getting him because I have full trust and full faith in this club as of right now that this rebuild and this transition period, however long it may be, will be done correctly and efficiently. So we'll see what happens, man. Wirtz, no Wirtz. It is what it is. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. Nah, 100%, man. I want Wirtz badly because I think that I think that's got to be a baby KDB, but like he brings a lot of what KDB offers in terms of the passing ability. That's why I like the sound of Baena because Baena's a passer as well.
I don't know this. I don't know Baena, man. I don't know nothing about.
So he
Baena.
plays for Villarreal. He plays left wing a lot, but he can also play in the middle. This is why I think Baena's a great option. I actually think low key, yeah. If Grealish is going in the summer, which he probably is, I might just buy Wirtz and Baena. Seriously, buy them both, man. Because this Baena kid, yeah, can play left wing as well. So then you've got your Grealish guy in there, yeah, but he can also play in the middle. And you've got Wirtz. So you've got another option. Just get another one.
Where does Echeverry fit into this, or does he ever fit into it? You know what I mean? Like, why?
Listen, for me, yeah, bro. If Echeverry's good enough, he'll get in the team. He'll get in the team. If he's good enough, he'll get in the team. I don't have a problem with this. Like, oh, where does this guy get in the team? Where is this guy? I hear this all the time. Yeah, like Matt, I was on the space with Martin today, and I'm hearing people say, "Oh, but where is he getting the team? And how's he playing?" Like, if you buy in, then where does, bro? I don't care, me. I just say buy the fucking players, and the best players play.
No, it doesn't work like that, bro. You can't have them all on the books because you can't invest time, money, facilities, and everything into all these players who you're investing in them on the basis that they're going to bang. If you're investing in Florian Wirtz, you're doing it on the basis he's going to bang, he's going to cook.
Yeah. But obviously, like Wirtz would be a core player, so you'd put more time and effort into him. But if Echeverry comes in and starts slamming it, then he goes in the team. Maybe he plays with Wirtz. We can play two players at the same time in that midfield if you play Rodri behind. But then what I'm hearing is but then where does Foden get in the team? Foden's playing good enough, he'll get in the team, and Wirtz and Echeverry will be dropped. And if he's not playing good enough, Foden, then he won't play. And maybe Foden will be going a wing. Like I'm just in a position where we need to go back to a period, yeah, where we was in the treble year, where like we have a squad of players, and players like fucking Mahrez, bro, was getting benched. Mahrez benched. Because to be fair, I know he's not playing particularly great right now. Bernardo was slamming it right wing. Now, I still probably would have played Mahrez a lot of the time when Bernardo was playing. But I can't sit here and be like, it was an absolute disgrace that that fucking Bernardo was playing. Because Bernardo was playing well. Mahrez just had to hold bench. And then people go, oh, yeah, but then Mahrez sulked and then left. Yeah, but we won a fucking treble. So it doesn't matter that happened. Because we won a treble, innit?
There was nothing.
Foden was benched for the Champions League final. Walker was benched for the Champions League. Walker benched. At that point, it was still pretty good. Yeah, there was obviously signs of decline with Walker, but he was still pretty good. Akanji played right back, man. We don't have options nowadays.
I get that. I get that you got to have options, but I think it's within reason. And I think the profile of the player and the stocks of the player have to be taken into account. If you're putting an Akanji type player up against a Walker type player, I get it. You got to have both of them. But the way we're projecting Echeverry and people are projecting Echeverry to become is that he's going to be a world beater. People are projecting that. Obviously, he's got a lot to do to get there, but they're projecting that. So if you have the world beater on your hands and you go and you sign another world beater on Florian Wirtz, and then you have this Baena guy there, you have Foden there, you have whoever else there, it's not going to work. There's nothing normal about that. You're leaning far too much into football manager side of things there, just stacking up players. I think there has to come a point where you just play the players.
Yeah, but I don't think that. And the thing is, yeah, this is Alvarez, but we won. We won the treble, and then we won the title. So if he wants to leave, let him leave. Fine. We then bought Marmouche. We move it on. See, I don't have a problem with this. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this. Like we get players in, mint players. We win stuff. Some players get unhappy because they didn't play. They move. Fine, so long as you replace them, which we didn't do with Alvarez. That's the problem there. And obviously, the problem with Parma is that he wanted to go out on loan, and Pep was like, "Not going on loan. You either staying or you can get sold." That was just a stupid fucking decision. But I don't have a problem with it. I honestly really don't have a problem with it. I say personally, buy the best players, get the best players in, and if players are a bit unhappy that they're not playing, no problem. Sell them, buy a new one. There's a conveyor belt of football. It's not sustainable. What you talk about, it's not sustainable. We bought Alvarez for 10 million quid and sold him for 80 million. We bought Mahrez for 60 million, had him for about 6-7 years and sold him for 25 million. We talk about it's not sustainable. It's literally the definition of sustainability. Palmer, got him in the academy, sold him for 15-20 million, and then we got a sell-on fee. It's literally everything I've just like mentioned is literally the definition of sustainability. What's not sustainable is running players until the 33, 34, 35, buying players like Nunes and Kovacic, and just letting your squad just decay. We need to go back to being a ruthless club, buying the best players, winning stuff. And if a player's not happy because they feel like they're not playing enough, no problems. Move them on, sell them, get a load of money because teams will pay top cash because they buy in winners, and then buy a new player in. It's no issue, man. If we would have sold Alvarez in the summer and then bought Marmoush, yeah, and you would have got Marmoush for cheaper, by the way, in the summer, because obviously that you only had like 6 months a year. So you probably would have got him for like, I don't know, 40 mil. Chilling, no problem. The problem is we sold Alvarez and didn't buy anyone. The problem with Palmer is we sold Palmer and bought a worse player. So as long as your transfer strategy is correct, you're chilling. You're absolutely chilling.
That's not a transfer strategy, though. That's just pick the best young players in the world and try and sign them all. And it just doesn't work like that. You're not going to. If you go and sign Baena now, yeah, before you sign Wirtz, and you already have Echeverri, you already have Foden, you already have Marmoush, you already have Bob, you already have Doku, you already have Savio, you already have Haaland. Wirtz is going to go, you've got a lot of fucking players, and all of them are going to want to play.
So do you know what I say to him?
Bro, the reality is you're not signing a top player unless you can give them some sort of assurance, some sort of guarantee.
So I say to Wirtz,
and people in the chat need to relax on this. But look what Real Madrid do. I don't give a fuck what Real Madrid do. We're not Real Madrid. The only club that can successfully do that is Real Madrid. Unless Pep can say to Wirtz, you're definitely going to play all of our big games, and you're really important to us. He's not signing. They're not all just going to agree to be part of a.
Yeah, but you just say to Wirtz, mate, you think we're going to spend £100 million for you to sit on the bench? You're replacing Kevin De Bruyne. You're going to be playing week in, week out.
And he goes, I'm replacing Kevin De Bruyne. But why have you got Echeverri, Baena, Foden, Marmoush? Aren't they all? Have you told them all? Are you telling all these girls the same thing? Is this what you say to all your dates? That you're my Kevin De Bruyne.
I say, okay, you want me to tell you the truth, yeah? Baena's going to play left wing and in the middle. Yeah, Foden can play on the wing and in the middle. Marmoush is going to play striker sometimes because we can actually get into a position where we can rest Haaland, which we've not really been able to do for a while. And we're going to build a squad. And we're going to say to him, we're building a squad here. Yeah, we're not just going to... We play 60 to 70 games a season or something stupid. I can't remember the exact number, but it's like we play a lot of games a season. You're 21. Yeah, there's going to be times when you're on the bench. Now, we're not paying £100 million for you to sit on the bench against Arsenal or Liverpool. Yeah, you're going to be in the team, but you're going to be rotated, and that's going to benefit you in the long term. Look at Sterling, finished by 27. Look at players like Foden and Saka. Foden's already complaining of being tired. He's 24. He's 24 and he's already complaining about being tired. Listen, if you want us to play you a week in, week out for every game for the next 5 years, no problem, we can do it, but you'll be finished by the age of 26. You'll be finished.
Look, I just don't think you can say to a player, a top player, look, we have 70 games a season, some of which you'll play, some of which you won't. And he'll go, which ones will I play in? You play Real Madrid every season. Will I play them? We don't know. Will you play against Arsenal every season? Or will I play the Arsenal games? We don't know. We already have Baena, we have Echeverri, we have 5 or 6 other lads there as well. Bro, unless you can tell this guy, for all 70 of those games, you're our priority. If you're not fit or you're tired, we can rest you. But you're a priority. You're not signing Wirtz unless you say that to him.
But surely we're going to pay £100 million for him. He is going to be a priority. You're not going to sign him for £100 million and bench him, are you?
No, but if you're like that's my point. You know what I'm saying? You can't have all these players. You can't go, let me sign Baena and Wirtz.
Why though?
What's Baena going to say? I'm doing great at fucking Villarreal, playing loads of football. I can go to a next club. I can go to a club like Atletico Madrid, like Alvarez did, and play loads of football for them. Or I can come and be part of this brilliant squad that you're assembling at Manchester City. But personally, selfishly, as a professional footballer, I'm looking at that going, I don't want to just be part of your squad. I want to be an important member.
Okay, so what I'd probably tell Baena is that right now he'd go straight into the team at left wing. Straight into the team. Because he walks in the team in front of Doku and Savio right now, left wing. And that's where he's playing a lot of his games for Villarreal. So I say, you're going to play there, And then sometimes you'll play in the middle as well, because there's 2 spots in the middle. Sometimes we'll rest Wirtz and you'll play with Wirtz in the middle. That's what I'd say. Baena would get loads of game time because he can play left wing and in the middle. And you're just replacing Grealish. So you get Grealish's minutes, which is granted not a lot right now, but he's better than Doku and Savio, so he'd probably play in front of them as well. And then he's also play in the middle. Foden plays on the wing pure times as well. Marmoush can play middle, he can play striker, he can play left wing, he can play anywhere basically. I just think that, like, it sounds mad, yeah, but when you're in like December and January and you're playing every 3 days, these guys are going to get so much game time. So much game time. I also think as well, bro, yeah, the players have to back themselves a little bit. Yeah, it's like they want the cake, but they don't want to graft for it, mate. Yeah, if you're going to be at a top club, you're going to have competition for space. You're not going to walk into a top club, yeah, and just be like, oh, there's nobody else to compete. Of course, there's going to be competitors. You're going to have competition for places. For me, these players, yeah, if they're asking about like, oh, game time, I'm going to be like, bro, if you're good enough, you're going to get the game time. You need to back yourself a little bit.
That's what you say to an under 14 academy player. If you're good enough, you're going to get game time. Not these footballers who are earning 200, 300, 400k a week. They're trending on Twitter every day of the week. They're super important. They're super high stocks. They're super high everything. They believe that wherever they go, they should be starting. They want the game time. They want the minutes. They want to be guaranteed. If they're making a move, if they're choosing between Bayern, Madrid, and Man City, they're going to be wanting assurances from all of them, or some sort of an idea from all of them. Which of you is going to play me the most? Who's going to give me the most game time? Who's going to invest the most in me? And who wants me the most? Whereas if you're saying to them, oh, you're going to be part of this squad and he can play in loads of different positions and you can play in loads of different positions, so we'll find somewhere for you to play on a week-to-week basis. They're going to go, that sounds a little bit, unpredictable and a little bit topsy-turvy on a week-to-week basis. Because if you're saying to me, Baena is going to come in and play left wing because he's better than Doku and Savio, I want rid of one of Doku and Savio then. You have Oscar Bob, you have Phil Foden who can play in the wing. I don't think you can stockpile all these players. And what's the point?
But wait a second. I think Doku, if Doku doesn't perform to a higher level next year, I think there's a chance that he might be sold next summer anyway. Because that'll be his 3rd year. So I think that he might. I think next season for Doku is a big year for Doku, because I think he needs to start putting up some numbers, man. Do you know what I mean? I think he could be out the door. I don't know, man. I just feel like there's more than enough room in the squad, man. What year did we win the treble? 2023?
23.
Like, who did we have in that team? So we had Alvarez, Haaland, as 2 strikers. Yeah, we had Mahrez as a winger, Grealish as a winger, Foden as a winger. Palmer was still there at the time. Bernardo was a winger. I mean, pure wingers, man. I'm just looking at the squad and I think, that was a solid squad. I just feel like get back to competition for places and the best players will play. And if the players want to leave because they're not playing enough, let them leave. No problems. Let them leave. Bye.
I think my point is mainly around Wirtz, right? It's not so much around Baena. It's not so much around players like Marmoush. It's not so much around players like that. I think those players, you probably can say to, you're coming to be part of a squad. We're going to develop you into being a Wirtz level player. But if you're trying to attract your Florian Wirtzes and you're trying to attract your, I don't know who else, Musialas and these kind of guys, they're going to want assurances, and they're going to look at the players you've already signed and the players that are already in your squad, and you're saying, and they're going to say to you, well, you've already signed X and Y, you already have X and Y. What do you desperately need me for? I just think it doesn't provide a lot of certainty.
This debate on Wirtz, I think this applies more. I hear this argument a bit more for the other players, right? But not Wirtz. Wirtz, you just say, mate, what are you talking about? We spend 100 million quid on you, mate. You're going to be playing. You're the guy. You're the guy who's replaced
and he goes, look at your man with the big calves and the hair. You signed him for 100 million, and he's barely kicked the ball in 2 years.
No, but that's different, though, isn't it? That's different because this year, last year he had pure injuries. And this year, he had a few, and then obviously Pep just don't like him anymore for whatever reason. Yeah, he just doesn't play. Played 37 minutes in the last 13 Premier League games. I just think you say, I don't know, man. I don't think that's the same, bro. I think at the end of the day, Grealish hasn't been doing anything. The reason Grealish ain't playing is because Grealish is not been doing anything, mate. Yeah, it's on Grealish, innit? I just think like where I just feel for me, the players need to have a little bit more of an ego. Yeah, I'm hearing this a lot. Like, oh, what about this? What about if the player says this? How about the player just says, I'm the fucking best player that is in that squad and I will play. Wirtz should come into this City team and go, I'm better than all yous. He should come into this team and say, I'm better than Foden. I'm better than Echeverry. I'm going to play every game. Not that he should need to be sold that because we're spending 100 million quid on him. But players need to have a little bit of an ego, man, and back themselves.
I'm all for players having an ego, and I agree with that. I just don't think it applies across the board. I don't think it's.
It probably doesn't apply across the board. When it comes to Baena, you just say, Baena, do you think you're better than Doku and Savio? Yes or no? Yes, Mint, what are you going to play then? No? Right, okay, well, we probably don't want you anyway.
I don't know, man. I think it's one of those topics that it's so hard to so hard to get a grasp of until you actually know what kind of person the player you're talking about is. Like, I don't like to compare what our rebuild should turn out to be like to the treble team, because there was nothing normal about that treble team. You can't replicate that, and you can't demand to replicate that. It was just a pocket in time where everything was perfect. It just worked out absolutely perfect. You can't strategize for that. You can't plan for that. You can't spend your way to that. Or maybe unless you're Real Madrid, I don't know. But I don't know. It's just so difficult. Like I say, if we already have these current players, like, who are the attackers we're planning on keeping moving forward? Say into next season, who's going to feature a lot? Let's have a chat about this. Let's pick some names out. Who are we expecting to actually feature a lot next season in big moments? Haaland, Foden, yeah. Who else are we talking about then? Who's next?
Mamouche. Savio, Daku is still going to be here.
That's 5.
Yeah.
Bob. Oscar Bob. Yeah. Is Bob important?
Well, I'd like to see him give him a chance. Yeah, I think it could be a good player for us. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so do we think all 6 of those players that I've just named are important enough to tell, you're going to get loads of game time, we're going to keep paying your wages, and you're very important to this team? Or should we be starting to...
Okay, so some of them yes, some of them no. I think Doku and Savio, the way they performed this year, need to know that, like, what you've done this year hasn't been good enough, so we're going to buy players, and you've got to get competition. Up your game.
I think it's difficult. I think if you really believe in the players that you have now, believe in them and go for that. Go with them.
But the problem is I don't think I do believe in some of these players right now.
Well, then say get rid of Doku, get rid of Savio.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so that's what I'm saying with Doku. I think Doku going into next year needs to perform to a higher level, because if he doesn't, I think going in, in the summer of 2027, I think that he could be at risk of going. Savio, it's his first year. You've got to give him more time. Yeah, we always try and give a player at least a season, and then you judge him in the second season. I think Savio's done okay this year, to be honest with you. I think that obviously he definitely needs to improve his output in terms of shooting and that. But I think next year, I think Savio could become a really good player. Bob has played 900 minutes or something. 900 minutes? Yeah, 2026. Yeah, 2026. Bob's played 700, 900 minutes or something like that. But I think Bob could be a good player. I watched him in the academy. I think he's got a tremendous talent. Yeah. But, like, there's no guarantee. Everyone's like, Bob's fucking mint. I think Bob could be a top player, but there's no guarantee. He's played 700 minutes. He could play loads. He could play loads now for the rest of the season. He could play next season. He could be crap. So for me, I'm just like, get players in, and then in the summer of 2026, one of those 3 players will end up leaving. If you got Baena, and Baena does well. You'd like to think Baena will do well, because he's played for Spain as well.
Yeah, maybe.
I would be surprised if I'd be surprised going into not next season, the season after, so 2026, 2027, I would be surprised if Savio, Bob, and Doku are all still at the football club. I'd imagine one of them probably would have gone. And if they've not, that's probably a very good thing, because they're probably all slammed it and fair. That's obviously that's the ideal situation. That's what you'd like to see, because then all 3 players that we've currently got sounds like they're all doing very well. Mint. But they've all 3 of them obviously have to up the game. A little bit harsh to say it on Bob because he's not been played, but like he needs to get back in the team, stay fit and cook like he was doing a little bit last year. I don't know. I just think that winger position is kind of mad, man, because it's like we've gone from having Bernardo, Mahrez, and Grealish, who are all really experienced, who all done it at different clubs and at different levels. Yeah, and have all been to 3 really young, inexperienced players. Like we've literally just flipped it. And that's why I've said, in my personal opinion, I'd like to get a player in this squad. I don't think we are going to sign a winger, to be honest with you. But if I was a manager, I'd look at signing a winger who's a little bit more experienced. Because what do you get with young players? You get volatility in their performances. You get inconsistency. Why? Because they're young. That's just a natural thing when they're young. Happens to all young players, bar maybe a couple of players. Yeah, that's chill. But this is why I think we've not got. I don't think when it comes to the wingers, I don't think we've got the blend right. Because all three of our wingers now are all young and therefore inexperienced and therefore inconsistent in their performances. The only experienced one we've got is Grealish, but he just doesn't play.
Foden's experienced, isn't he?
Yeah, but then is he a winger? You get into the debate of is he actually a winger?
Mm.
Yeah, because we've been linked with this guy a lot. This Trincao guy. Who is this guy?
I think we've enough wingers, man. I think we've enough wingers. I don't think we need any more wingers. I have enough faith in Doku and Savio and Bob and Marmouche, even though he's versatile, that they will come good. I'm not ready to just go, we need to buy more wingers because this season has been stinking. Definitely the attack and midfield side of things. But if we're going to sign attack and midfield players, I want to bring in attack and midfield players who are going to play every single week, who are going to play week in, week out. I just want a bit of consistency in the team and let the team develop and let the team grow, because we haven't had that all season. We haven't had consistency in selection all season. If you want to compare it to the treble season, let's do that. The treble season and the second half of the season, the team picked itself week in, week out. You knew who it was. Every single week, you knew exactly who it was from goalkeeper up to striker. If you want to get some treble season DNA back, you need some consistency. And it's hard to do that, bro, with if you're good enough, you'll play. If you're not good enough, you won't. I think you have to persevere when players aren't even playing good. You don't just drop them because they haven't played well for 2 or 3 games. You have to persevere, especially when they're young. Echeverry is going to have periods of a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 games in a row where you go, he's struggling, or he's not looking great for him. But that doesn't mean, get him out of the team and put Wirtz in now. That's not development, bro. That's not.
Well, that's all well and good, but then you've got to accept sometimes you got players like Savio and Doku, and sometimes they'll just drop absolute stinkers. I mean, they might drop stinkers for a couple of weeks because they're young. Now, if that's the way you want to go, chill. But you just got to be aware that is.
We chose to sign them. We chose to sign them. If we obviously chose to sign them, we chose to invest in them. We chose to believe that they are going to be what we signed them to become. Same with Kuznov. Kuznanov's a young lad. We signed him because we're expecting him to be at a certain level. You have to run with that. I don't think it's fair to just bin these young lads then and go, okay, look, you didn't do great for a season when you were 21. Doesn't matter. We've gone and got Wirtz and Baena now. You guys can just chill until they drop stinkers. You can come back in. I don't think man management works like that. I don't think it's good for the development of a player. I don't think it's good for general look. I don't think it looks great to world football and your future prospects of signing players either. If you're signing young players and then you dump them a year or 18 months later to bring in the next kind of shiny toy, I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it works well.
But when it comes to someone like Doku, we're talking about 3 years. So Doku next year, that would be his 3rd season. So I think if Doku doesn't perform to a good level next year, like a seriously good level, and you've got 3 years, because I don't think personally Doku's been at the level City need as a winger this year or last year.
I've said it before. I've said it a million times. I don't think he's good enough.
No.
I don't care if that upsets people or offends people. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying I don't think he's good enough for Manchester City. I think he's got great qualities, great attributes, and great assets. But for what we have been and what we're aspiring to be, I don't think Doku's good enough. So if you're going to sell Doku, go and get me the next one. Go and get Baena. If you're going to sell Doku, go and get me who else you think is next to fill in that role in the squad. But don't hold Doku, hold on to him and sign someone else on the basis that Doku might come good, randomly in his 3rd season or his 4th season. You got to make your mind up. Are we trusting in Doku's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th season? Or are we going, I don't know. And I didn't say I trust him, Jay Claus. I said I trust the board. I trust the management. I trust the scouting team, that what they saw in Doku when they signed him is going to be good enough for what we want moving forward. I trust Manchester City. I trust Manchester City and the scouting team to make the right decisions. But I'm telling you, from what I've seen of Doku, I don't think he's good enough. Nothing against the guy. I don't. I think Savio has a lot of improvement to do as well. But you said it yourself. We could be sitting here in 12 months' time going, Doku's played 3 seasons, and has he really hit the levels of any of the previous wingers we've had?
Yeah,
I think any of the wingers.
Yeah, I think going back to the original point that I made, I think the problem that I've got here is that all 3 players are young and inexperienced. And that's where I think we've sort of got the blend a little bit wrong. Because you're going to go through periods with young players of that inconsistency. And you are right. You know, when you've got these young players in, you need to guide them through it, you know, and you need to help them through their periods of like bad form or whatever, or just shit decision making or whatever it is, because they're young and and it'll get better with time. The problem is our 3 wingers now, which I think we all agree pretty much our 3 wingers is Bob, Savio, and Doku. Now, you can argue Marmoush, whatever. We don't fully know where Marmoush is going to play yet. It's yet to be seen. They're all young. They're all under 22. And I think that's what I'm saying. I think we've just got the blend a little bit wrong. And that's why I say, for me, I would have liked to sign a player a little bit older than that to have that blend. Now, obviously, everything, my opinion and the way I'm speaking might be different if Grealish was actually playing and Grealish was better. Because then you'd have that senior player and he could play, and then, you know, you'd have one young player on the other side on the right wing, and then Grealish could be subbed off, and then you could put another young player and you could, you know, get them in and you could rest Grealish, you know, play 2, but you could ease it. You've got Grealish there who's a bit older and help the young players. But unfortunately, Grealish has just been frozen out of the team and obviously don't play anymore and looks pretty much like he's going to go. So you're left with 3 inexperienced players, and that's the issue. Our 2 wingers, important positions, are all inexperienced, and none of them right now are doing very well.
I think Marmoush is that more experienc's player, or he's
but,
going.
Yeah, potentially.
What I will say is, look, even though I've just said about Doku, I don't think he's good enough right now. He still is very young, and that's why I'm saying I'm not. That's why I'm not saying sorry. Just get rid of him this summer and go and get the replacement. Like I said, I have full faith in the City board that they see enough in Doku, but I think there's a slight bit more pressure on Marmoush to come good quicker than Savio and Doku and Bob, because he is that bit older. His stocks are that bit higher. He does have that bit more reputation. I know you say maybe he's traditionally a number 9 or he's traditionally a winger. Whatever way, I don't care. He came in knowing fine well Haaland's the number 9. You're going to spend a lot of time out wide. You're going to spend a lot of time behind Haaland. There's impetus and there's responsibility on Marmoush, in my opinion, for next season to be maybe not a senior leader in the squad, but a senior attacker. Be one of the more experienced attackers. And I think he may have to fill that role that you're talking about that Jack Grealish isn't filling, you know, of being the older of the wingers, being the more senior member of the wingers, because he's going to be a winger, isn't he, Marmoush, most of the time.
By the way, apparently this Trincao guy, right, he plays for Sporting Lisbon. Contracted, he's only got 1 year left in his contract. So he plays most of his games as a right winger, but can play in the middle as a second striker. Only played once as a left winger. He's 25, Portuguese. I've heard sort of mixed things about him. I just don't think we're going to go back to Lisbon and start signing players from them.
Lisbon.
I just don't think that's going to happen, because we've got Viana and everyone's just like, oh yeah, just linking us with this guy. We got linked with one of the defenders, and I'm like, I just don't know if City operate like that, really. Like, we'll take your sporting director and then we'll go raid your player. I just don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe Viana's like, I'm being ruthless. This guy's sick. We're gonna get him in.
Well, we're gonna do with Chelsea to Brighton. Go and take all their water boys and all sorts of shit.
I just don't see it. I don't see City really off. I just don't see City moving like that. Maybe they will, but I don't even know about this Trincao. I never heard of him before, to be honest with you.
No, I don't know anything about him.
Some people say he's sick, and then some people say he's actually shit. So I had no idea. But yeah, there you go. Let's have a look at some of those chats, man. Big up to LB says Bournemouth are gonna deep fry us. Can't lie, says LB. Yeah, I'm not particularly confident about Sunday, if I'm being honest with you, especially the defense that we're gonna be putting out. We just got to hope and pray that we actually just create chances, and if we do, actually be clinical. But they battered us last time. Like, that was when we did that watch along. We got fucking battered that day. Like, we got humbled that day, man. Like, they absolutely. You know what's mad about that game? Is that in the end, we actually should have drawn the game because we've scored, and then fucking Haaland hit the post, didn't he? From like 2 yards out. We actually probably should have equalised. I mean, it would have been the biggest robbery of a point I've ever seen in my life. Because we definitely did not deserve a point in that game. But they cooked us, man. They absolutely cooked us. So I don't know how we're going to play. I don't know how we're going to set up. I hope and pray that we win because I'm desperate to win the FA Cup this year. I am, because if there are going to be a couple players leaving, like De Bruyne, like Bernardo, like Gundogan, like whoever they are, Edison and that, I really want these players to, like, it's sentimental in it, but I really want these players to leave with a trophy. I don't want them to leave with no trophy, man. So I'm desperate to win the FA Cup, but I can't lie. This is probably the worst tie we could have got. Maybe Villa at Villa Park could have been worse, but this is disgusting because they're a good side. Now, apparently, they've not won in 4 games. So we played them at a good time. But this is, for them, this is their biggest game. I think it's our biggest game. I think it's their biggest game of the season. You know, this will take us to Wembley.
It's Bournemouth's biggest game in maybe ever, respectfully. Like, I don't know their history too well, but when was the last time Bournemouth were at Wembley? Someone in the chat will probably have an answer for that and go, "Oh, Hugh was in 2008. You know, you should know that." I don't know that. It's a massive game for them, and we have become the subject of giant slaying all season, haven't we? These quote unquote smaller teams, they raise their game and they smell blood off us because we're so vulnerable all every week that they pull out these results, and they did humble us that day. I think that day was it right in the beginning of the downfall, the beginning of the end, kind of
that Bournemouth game. I think it was like I think it was the second game. I think we played Spurs in the cup, got knocked out, and then I think that was the first game after that. So yeah, it was like the first official game because Spurs, like we all knew, was going to get beat there anyway because Pep rotated the team in it. But yeah, I think that was the first game, man.
I think you just gotta hope that the City players get themselves mentally in the right condition. You know, this is our last chance.
Well, the good news is Kevin De Bruyne apparently fucking cooked last night for Belgium. Like, I've seen the highlight. I don't know if you've seen the highlights reel, bro. He looks sick, man. He looked class. He looks so good.
Nice one, Dylan, man. There's Dylan coming in with the facts.
I can't believe you didn't know that. Again, Hugh not got the ball knowledge, man. Yeah, but I'd play Kev and be like, yo, please cook for us.
Last dance, bro. Last dance. This is the last dance for many of these guys. Yeah, leave on a high.
Let Kev cook on against Bournemouth. Foden's a bit of a weird one now because of all these comments coming out. I feel that, like, but then do you bench Foden and take him out the limelight? But then he's not really out the limelight because everyone's going to go, Foden benched. Like, shit, he's been benched. Or do you play him? I don't know what you do with Foden at the weekend, man. Do you play him or do you bench him?
I don't know, unfortunately for players like Foden, there is no getting them out of the limelight. The limelight shines wherever they are, on or off the pitch.
True.
So, man, I don't know. To be honest, man, I really don't. It's not like we have any games recently to kind of base off and go, oh, well, this guy's playing well or that guy's playing well. I think anyone's fair game to be benched on the weekend, probably at the minute. So, I don't know. I don't know. I feel for him though. It does sound a bit like he's struggling with whatever's going on in his life. Or
listen, I'll tell you what's happened to him. Yeah, obviously not facts because I'm just saying what I think's happened to him. He's played fucking shitload of football. Yeah, probably too much. He's already played 300 games for City. 300 games.
Yeah, he's only fucking 24. He's mental.
24. He's already played 300 games. Yeah. Last year he was spammed out. Yeah, fucking unbelievable season for City. Yeah, but he played a lot, a lot of high pressure games and did really, really well. Then he went to that Euros and was just not great. Let's be honest with you. Got a load of shit. Had about 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off. Yeah. Come back to City, put straight in the team. Fucking Rodri gets an ACL. Everyone's looking at Foden saying, get us out of shit, get us out of shit. He's obviously had a couple issues earlier in the season with illnesses or whatever. And I just think it's all just built up. And this is what you've got now. And now he just needs a rest, man. But he's not going to get a rest. You're not going to get a rest, bro. Because the season ends. Yeah, he's got a week off. Then he's got a Club World Cup. And he's got 2 weeks off. And then the season starts again. So he's not going to get a week. He's not going to get any time. He needs a month off him. And to be honest with you, not just him. I think a lot of the players do. Yeah? Maybe Bernardo Silva needs a month off. Maybe they all need a month off. The problem is, and this is why you need to get a bigger squad. Because there's so many games, there's so many shit. No, you've got to get a bigger squad, man. Do you know what I mean? And obviously Pep Guardiola has already said this in the press conference. Pep knows. Pep said in the conference, he said, I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to alter my ways of managing. I'm going to have to get a couple of extra players in here. And by the way, I'm not saying get like 5 or 6, but I'm just saying get 2 or 3 extra players. Get 2 or 3 extra players. Make the world of difference. Make the world of difference. I mean, look at our defence this year. Look at Gvardiol. Look at Gvardiol. I think it's a miracle that it's took this long for him to get injured. A miracle. He's only not played in 4 games all season. I was checking his minutes, right? For club and country, Gvardiol this season for club and country has already played around the same amount of minutes as our top player last year. And we're only in March. We've still got April and May to go. And he's already played the same minutes for club and country as players like Rodri played for City in the whole of last year. And we're in March, mate. Can you believe that?
It's crazy, man. As I say, I've said this for a long time. Like, player welfare it's not something that's spoken about enough. It's not something that's taken into account. You know, I think we're too quick to just view them as robots. Excuse the pun. You know, we call Alan the robot.
And this is where the club need to start, you know, changing their ways of doing it. It's all well and good. The club going, oh, we're gonna go to the Club World Cup and earn 60 million minimum. £60 million minimum from the Club World Cup, yeah, because it's great for us. We're going to get all this money and shit. Well, then you need to increase the size of your squad because the players are not going to be able to cope. I'm telling you now, yeah, I think we all know this. We're probably going to start next season shit, mate. Yeah, we probably are. We probably are going to start the season shit next year because our pre-season is going to be a mess. We're probably not going to have a shit one. We're going to start the season. Yeah, our first game's against Chelsea. Luckily, they're in the same situation as us, so that might be all right. And then we're probably just going to be really lethargic until about maybe October, November. Yeah, that's just how it's going to go. We're not going to have a proper pre-season, so we've got to hope. We've got to hope that the club buy 6 players. Yeah, I'm aiming for 6 is my sort of number, right? Younger players, and then hopefully, you know, hopefully we can just get results early in the season, kind of like we did this year. We weren't playing particularly well. We played well in our first 3 games. After that, we weren't well in any of them. We didn't play good in any of the games after the first 3 games, and we just got through it and that. But yeah, we'll see how it happens, man. Listen, I'm confident the club are going to do it, man. I'm confident the club are going to sort these transfers out in the summer. Everything that I've heard from the club, yeah, is going to be because apparently they could. Oh no, it's not Chelsea. Sorry, it's not Chelsea. No, I'm chatting shit. It's not Chelsea. Everything that we're hearing from the club is that they're going to do a rebuild in the summer. They're going to buy players. Pep saying he needs a bigger squad. Great. Everything we're hearing is good. They just need to execute. Execute the transfer strategy. Get the players in. And they said it can't be any worse than this year, innit? So, yeah, that's where we're at with it, man. All right, and boys, big up to you. Big up to LB. Says fullback was a must in January. We neglected Josko. Well, the thing is, yeah, obviously Juventus wanted 65, 70 million for Cambiasso. He's never worth that money. Cambiasso was the guy that could play left back or right back. The club, could they really envisage Ake, Stones and Akanji all getting long-term injuries? Some people will say yeah. Some people will say no. I understand why they didn't pay 70 million for Cambiasso. Obviously, now all 3 of those players are injured with long-term injuries. It now looks a bit silly, but at the same time, you know, fucking...
We have been absolutely cooked with injuries.
Oh, we've been horrifically cooked.
Like, and we can all, you know, make up our theories as to what and why that happened. Games, is the backroom staff good enough? Is the physios good enough? These are all things that we can't really fucking comment on too much. But reality is, and people are always like, oh, excuses. It's become too easy to throw that around. City have been chefed with absolutely shagged.
Yeah, but I do think that is again a bit of our own making. Because if you look at our defense, for example, I think in the midfield and shit, yeah, I think that's unlucky because Rodri getting an ACL, like that's just unlucky. Like, again, you can do stuff in the summer to rectify that, and they probably should have done. But when it comes to the defense, we know that Stones is injury prone. We know that Ake has a few injuries. Yeah, Rico Lewis, some people don't even think he's a right back, and Walker was finished last year, and we kept him in again. So I think defensively. Yeah, I think that we've caused our own issues there by not signing a defender in the summer. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And we've had players like Ake and Akanji playing with injuries just to help us out. But that's all well and good, and it sounds great that they're playing with injuries, but it's not really great, is it really? Because that's what happens then. They get fucking long-term injuries. So, but at the same time, we have been a bit unlucky on that. It is what it is. We'll see. Hopefully next year we'll get a new fitness coach and everything will be rosy. But listen, increase the size of the squad, 2 or 3 players in. At least 5, 6 players in, new players. They've got to be quality. And next year, let's go and win the league again, innit? I think we'll win the league next year if we sign the right players. But yeah, there we go. Cool. What a chat that was. Fucking 1 hour, 30 minutes flown by, man. Absolutely flown by that. There you go.
The chat won't know. We had no plans or structures to what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, but then what happens is this is why I like these off-the-cuff streams, isn't it? Where we not actually don't know what we're talking about because, you know, you get into a little fucking rabbit hole, you start talking about it, the chat gets involved, and then boom, it's sick stream, man. Everyone's fucking buzzing. You know what I mean? Yeah, look at this, man. Yeah, average view duration 14 minutes, man. People are loving it. You know what I mean? It's a good it's a good conversation. It's a good conversation. You know, we had a debate. People love the debate. Some people agree with you. Some people agree with me. Mint.
Yep.
Sick.
Make sure you like it, people. Make sure you like the stream. If you enjoy those and getting involved in those conversations, make sure you hit the like button. It's free to do and it helps them out. So do that, man. It's good. I enjoy it.
Yeah, man. Cool. All right, and people said to me before, "You're not watching England, LB?" I was like, "Nah, England. I ain't watching England, man."
Nah, I'm gonna go watch some Netflix now, bro. Have you seen this series, Gangs of London?
No, I've not seen it.
Bro, chat. Some of you have definitely seen it. Gangs of London, man. You need to watch it, man. There's 2 series on Netflix, and the 3rd one just came out there on Sky. I think it'll eventually be on Netflix. But yeah, it's sick stuff, man. Great show. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah. All right, man. Big up, innit? Chat, you want me to redirect you to Saeed, who's watching the Baller League, or you want me to redirect you to Lee, who's watching England versus Latvia? Chat, Saeed or Lee in the chat, who you want me to redirect you to, man? Who you want me to redirect to? What do you want to watch? You want to watch the Baller League, or you want to watch England versus Latvia? What you want to watch? What you want to watch? Lee watching England or Saeed? Martin's not going live. Martin's not live. No, Martin's not going live, guys. It's pretty close. I think Lee edges it, so I'll send it to Lee. But if you want to go watch Saeed at Baller League, then obviously, you know, free country. Right, big up to Hugh. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Hugh. Link is in the description. First line there. Just click it, subscribe, bang. Althus take Foden out the firing line. Yeah, but then he'll, like Hugh says, I think he'll be in the firing line because then the problem is if you drop him and bench him, which takes him out the firing line in terms of not, then it's like Foden benched. And you know what the media are going to do? The Foden media are going to be like, oh my God, Foden's benched. So I don't know what you do. I don't think there's a right answer, man, to be honest with you.
No.
But yeah, there you go. Anyway, yeah, shout out to Martin's podcast as well, by the way, guys. City Waffle is on Spotify now. 2 episodes in, load of good feedback on it. I've still not listened to it. I've been out all weekend on the piss, to be honest. So yeah, that's why I didn't really do any streams. But yeah, guys, make sure you go check that out. Martin, Tone, and Fee. That's on all the podcast apps, Spotify, and I think it's on. I think I've seen him on SoundCloud as well. And he's got a late night space there as well at half 11, which is always great. I love the fucking spaces, man. The spaces. I got kicked off today though. I don't know if you kicked me off.
I know, I was listening. I was listening to that one, but for about 10 minutes, you were cooking whatever you were talking.
I got kicked off, man. Every time I tried to join, it kicked me off. So I don't know if I was getting kicked from the space. Someone was banning me from the space or whatever. But I don't know why people would have banned me. I didn't say anything. You know what I mean? So I don't know why.
Someone thought you were chatting rubbish, man. I heard it was Martin as well. I heard Martin saying that, I'll be chatting rubbish. Let me kick him off. So I was like,
no. Me and Martin were agreeing with each other today, but I don't know why. No. I don't know why I was getting kicked off, man. It was weird. But yeah, anyway, there you go. Well, I'll redirect it to Lee. He's unfortunately watching England versus Latvia. Saeed doing a Baller League. And yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the likes. I will catch you in the next one, people. See you later.